Hello viewers, welcome to this video lecture series on C programming. Today's topic of discussion is on the very first type in the operators list, that is the arithmetic operators. Before I start teaching the arithmetic operators, let me just revise again the different types of operators that are available in C and as well the definition for an operator. An operator is a symbol that specifies the mathematical, logical or relational operation to be performed. So whatever is the expression, in that expression you are making use of certain operators. Now what operators you are going to use in the expression, those operators to specify whether it is a mathematical or logical or relational operation that has to be performed. Different types of operators that are available in C language: arithmetic, relational, logical, assignment, increment, decrement operators, conditional operators, bitwise operators, and you have the last category as the special operators. Under the category special operators, you have two operators here. One is the comma operator and the other one is the size of operator. So these operators, whatever I have listed here, there will be a separate session on each of the operators with examples, with features, with a program. These operators can be used with variables and constants to form expressions. Now let us see the different arithmetic operators. For multiplication, you are using this kind of symbol, that is the asterisk. For divide, this. For addition, plus. For subtraction, this kind of, and for modulus operation you are using a percentage symbol. So these are the 5 different types of operators under the category arithmetic, and these are binary operators. So as and when I am explaining the different types of operators, also I will tell you whether the operators are the binary operators or unary operators. So I have given one example here. Let us declare one variable a with a value 12 and another variable b with a value 4, and you are going to perform some arithmetic operation and store the value in the variable called as result. Now here whatever variables you are declaring, whether it is a, b, x, y, those variables are called as operands. Fine. Now you look here, for the addition you are writing a plus b, that means a and b are the operands and plus here is the operator. Subtraction you are going to perform it like this: a minus b, multiplication a into b, division a slash b, and modulus operator you are having a percentage symbol b. These expressions will be evaluated and the value will be stored in the variable result. Here is what you have declared, that variable result, and the data type is integer. So a plus b, the addition operation, result is 16. Subtraction operation, 12 minus 4, 8. Multiplication operation, 12 into 4, 48. Division operation, 12 by 4, 12 by 4, 3. And finally you have the modulus operation, 12 modulus 4, you will be having 0. These 4 operations you are quite familiar with. This modulus might be a new operator for you. So what exactly this modulus operator will do? It will find the remainder of an integer division. Now at present you are taking the values as 12 and 4. Fine. So when you divide here, you are going to get the remainder as 0. So this is what the remainder of this particular operation is stored in this particular variable result. So it always gives you the remainder of the integer division. Let me take like this. Suppose if it is 15 modulus of 4, 3 is the remainder. So the value for this particular expression is what? 3. Now remember few points here for arithmetic operators. First thing is, whatever variables you are declaring here, in this example, since we have used a and b, they are called as operands. If you are using x and y, then it will x and y becomes operands. Then next point, you remember arithmetic operators can be applied to any integer or floating point numbers. So all these operators, plus, minus, division, multiplication, can be applied to floating point numbers except for the modulo operator. Modulo operator you cannot apply to the floating point numbers. It has to be applied only to the integer operands. So whenever you are performing the modulus operation, remember that the variables has to be integers only. It cannot be used on float or the double operands. And the second point with respect to the modulus operation, remember the sign of the result is always the sign of the first operand. For example, 17 modulus 4, the remainder is what? 1. The first operand here in this example is 17 and the second operand is what? 4. So when you perform the modulus operation, the result will always have the sign of the first operand. So here it is plus, so by default plus we are not going to write, so it is, that's why the result is 1 and it will have the sign as plus only. Suppose in the second example we have taken, the first operand is having what, minus sign, so the result will always carry what, the sign of the first operand. Here in this case it is minus. If the second operand is having what, minus sign, still the result will carry the sign of the first operand. Here it is plus, so the result is 1. In case, suppose if both the operands are having what, minus minus, still because the first operand is having a sign minus, the result will always be minus here. Now when it comes to division, let me give you one example here. We are carrying out this division operation, 15 divided by 4. Look here, when I divided this 15 with 4, what is that we are getting? We are getting 3.75, but the result is only 3. That means the numbers that are present after the decimal point are eliminated and only the integer value gets printed here. That means whatever operands you are using here, okay, both you have declared as integers, so the result will always be an integer. It will truncate or it will eliminate the numbers that are present after the decimal point. So that is what I have written here. If both the operands are integers, then the result will be an integer. If one or both operands are floating point numbers, then the result will be a floating point number. In case if you are declaring one operand as float and another as int, and you try to perform the division operation, then the result will be what, floating point number. In case if you have both the operands as float, then definitely the result will be floating number. Now apart from these features of operator, you should also remember what is the precedence and associativity for these operators. Now in arithmetic operators we have these 5 operators. The highest precedence is for this multiplication, division and modulus. So this has got the higher precedence over what? Over the addition and subtraction. Multiplication, division and modulus have got equal precedence. So if they appear in the expression, then you need to evaluate the expression from left to right direction. So for this to understand, I have given one example here. We have 10 divided by 2 plus 4 into 8 minus 2. Now if you look here, we have the division operator here, plus operator here, 4 operators are present in this expression. If you see the higher precedence operators out of these 4, then division and multiplication, the next comes addition and subtraction. So you are going to first carry out these operations, division and multiplication. Now if both are there, which one to begin, whether to start with multiplication or division, that time you have to look into the associativity. Associativity always gives you the direction from where it has to get evaluated, whether it has to be evaluated from left to right of the expression or from right to left of the expression. Now if both are appearing, both are having the equal precedence, then you need to consider the associativity here, which is left to right. So in this case, you can see here in this expression we have the division also and we have the multiplication also. So since both are appearing, we don't have to worry, we'll start from left to right. So left to right here, first this will get evaluated, 5 plus will be as it is. You are going to write this plus operator as it is. Then next you will perform the multiplication, 32 minus 2. Now you are having which two operators? Plus and minus. Plus and minus, if both are appearing, once again you are going to consider the associativity, which is from left to right. So left to right, first you are going to write 5 plus 32, that is 37. Then you will perform the subtraction, so which is 37 minus 2, 35. So the final answer is 35. So here I have given one example with a program also. In this program, an arithmetic expression is getting evaluated. Once this expression gets evaluated, the value is stored in the variable a. Now let us see how this expression gets evaluated. So in the explanation, I have told you regarding the arithmetic operators, their precedence and their associativity. Now let me write the same expression here one more time and then I'll explain you how the expression gets evaluated. If you look into this expression, you have which operators in this? Let me write here. You have assignment, multiplication, addition, opening and closing brace, division. So totally you can see 5 different operators in this expression. If you look into the precedence, this has got the highest priority, that is the opening and closing parenthesis has got the highest precedence over the other operators. Then you have the division and multiplication, these two operators are at the same position. Then you have the plus, finally you have the assignment. So this is the precedence level. If opening and closing parenthesis, this part, okay, this gets evaluated first. So now your expression becomes 2 into 3.25 plus this gets evaluated 3 plus 6 9 divided by 2. Now once again here in this expression you have the opening and closing parenthesis. So now this has got the highest precedence over the plus, multiplication and assignment. So this will get evaluated. Now what you will get, 2 into 3.25 plus 9 divided by 2. When you carry out this division, 9 divided by 2, you will have 4.5. But since both these operands are integers, 9 and 2, hence the number that is appearing after the decimal point will not be included. The answer will only be the integer part. So the answer is 4 here. Now further the expression gets evaluated. You can see here assignment, multiplication and addition. So in this you have the multiplication operator is having the highest precedence over the assignment and addition operator. So this will get evaluated now. Now in this evaluation, 2 into, let me write here, 2 into 3.25. You see here one operand is integer, the other one is the floating point. So whenever you find a mixed mode of arithmetic expression, what happens is the other operand which is of integer data type gets converted into floating point. That means a smaller data type gets converted into larger data type. So in this case, now 2 will be written in floating point, then it is evaluated here. So it becomes 6.50 plus 4. Now you have only two operators, one is plus and another is assignment. So plus has got the highest precedence. Now in this case, if you see, once again it is what, a mixed mode. So 4 is what, an integer data type getting converted into what, into a floating value. So it will be 4. So 6.50 plus 4.0 becomes what, 10.50. Now final answer for this will be a equal to 10. Why is that? Because though this is a floating point number, but what is that you have done, you are storing this value in a variable a. Okay, this value is what, this value is stored in the variable a, but a is declared as the integer data type. You can look here, you have declared the value for a as integer data type. That's the reason this 10.50 now becomes 10. Final answer will be what, a equal to 10. What has happened in this case, 10.50 is a floating value. Okay, float data type is getting converted into int. So even this is possible, a bigger data type getting converted into smaller data type. In this example, you have seen both the cases, a smaller data type getting converted into larger data type. Smaller to larger is called as promoted. Okay, and also we have seen a larger data type float getting converted into a smaller data type int. So bigger to smaller data type, the process is called as demotion. So we say it is demoted here. So this is how the arithmetic expression gets evaluated here. Hope you find this session useful. If you find it useful, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Bye bye and take care.